Good morning, citizens of Hawaii. In years past, we have experienced seismic activity at these locations. And now we're going to show you what to do if this happens again. The first location we have is at 54, negative 144.5. The second location is at 25, negative 133.8. The last location is at 33.7, negative 158.7. These are all located relatively closely to our lovely city, Hilo. If you are currently in this city, we are about to show you some evacuation plans for the tsunamis caused by these tremors.
According to the formula, speed equals the square root of acceleration of gravity times depth. The first wave would arrive in 1 hour and 49 minutes from now. The second wave would arrive in 2 hours and 55 minutes. And the third wave would be about in 6 hours and 3 minutes. In the case of an impending tsunami, you will hear sirens sound. If you hear these sirens, you should immediately get ready to leave. But you should turn on the radio for information first, like where to go, where to...
Absolutely.
Inform.
Now let's go to our map specialist, John Zimjewski.
Hello, I'm Map John. Here you can see a map of Hilo. All this gray shaded area is the evacuation zone. So if you are in this gray area and you hear the tsunami sirens, you need to get ready to leave right away. You should turn on the radio and go wherever they advise you. Mauna Kea is the safest mountain nearby. It's 25 miles away. So sometimes you need to go there, or sometimes you might need to go somewhere else. But if you have a car, you need to get out right away, basically. And if you're not in this gray area, we still suggest you find shelter or high ground. However, you might be okay where you are for a lot of tsunamis, but you really never know. So evacuation is still highly suggested. Now let's go to our field expert, John Palmatier.
Thanks, Sean. Unfortunately, there has been some destruction from the past tremors and tsunamis. As you can see from these damaged houses, very sad. As most of you know, Hilo is located right on the coast, so it is important for our citizens to get out quickly. We have many mountains here in Hawaii, so going to them to escape any possible flooding is usually a good idea. In case the first wave hits, it will take 1 hour and 49 minutes for it to arrive. You really don't have a lot of time. We recommend if you're in the evacuation zone, you need to get out immediately. Take your emergency preparedness kits, and if you have any pets, take them and get out fast. There could be some traffic, so you want to be sure to get out as quickly as possible. Speaking of which, you should always have an emergency preparedness kit because you never know when the disaster might strike. There are a lot of sources to find information about this and the Hawaii Emergency Management Agency. Even if you do not live in the evacuation zone, you should still leave basically right away for this type of tsunami.
In the case of the second wave, it will take 2 hours and 55 minutes to arrive. This will still be quite a similar plan to the first wave. If you live in the evacuation zone, you might have a little bit more time, but to be safe, you should really get out within 30 minutes of hearing the sirens and head to Mauna Kea Army High Ground, or really wherever the radio station advises you. You need to be several miles from shore at least. If you don't live in the evacuation zone, as with any tsunami, you should probably still evacuate if you're near the coast, because you might not expect the severity of the tsunami. However, you do have just a little bit of time to collect some of your valuables before leaving. It's important to have a personalized plan for each situation, but you should also follow our basic advice.
In the scenario that the third wave hits, it is 6 hours away, so you have more time to recover your belongings and family members before the wave hits. You should know ahead of time what kind of variables to take with you in case your house is destroyed, because if you have a plan, you should have time to load up your car.
Having a plan is very important, and even if you don't have a plan, you can still take a lot of stuff. But be conscious of the time and leave your house with about an hour or two to spare. That is all about our tips for tsunami safety. Be sure to have plans for many scenarios and be prepared because a tsunami can happen any day. This has been Channel John News.